We all face pain and suffering in our lives, but we often exacerbate it with our thoughts and reactions. In this video, I will share with you an ancient Buddhist parable about two arrows that teaches us how we can reduce suffering by changing our attitude towards it. Join us to discover wisdom that will help you find inner peace and harmony in even the most difficult situations. Each of us faces moments in our lives when it feels as if the whole world has turned against us. We feel as if something dark is stabbing us in the heart, causing pain and suffering. It could be betrayal, job loss, a breakup with loved ones, the very arrows that hurt us. But have you ever thought that often this suffering is not so much from the event itself, but from how we react to it? In this story, I will tell you about an ancient Buddhist parable that will open your eyes to the true nature of your suffering. Once upon a time, there was a young man who, gripped by anger and despair, went to a wise teacher for advice. He told of his misfortunes. His wife had left him, his job was gone, and his friends had turned away as if the friendship that had bound them together for many years was gone. The pain overwhelmed him, and he felt as if arrow after arrow was being driven into his heart. "Master," he said, "how do I deal with this pain? I don't know how to go on living." The teacher listened to him carefully and, with deep wisdom in his eyes, replied, "Imagine you are hit by an arrow. What will you do? Of course, you would try to pull it out as soon as possible to stop the pain. But what if instead you start wondering who fired that arrow, why it hit you, and how long you're going to suffer from that wound? You keep thinking, and the arrow still sits in your body, causing even more pain." The young man thought about the teacher's words and realized that the sage was not talking about physical arrows, but about the thoughts and feelings that he himself kept stabbing into his soul. The teacher continued, "The first arrow is the pain that cannot be avoided. It is the pain of loss, of disappointment, of betrayal. But the second arrow is your own thoughts, anxieties, fears that you add to that pain. The first arrow is inevitable, but the second arrow is your choice." And that's when the young man realized the suffering was intensified not so much by the events themselves, but by his own attitude toward them. He realized that he was wasting his strength and energy torturing himself with thoughts that brought nothing but additional pain. How often we let the second arrow into ourselves without noticing that it is the one that brings the most suffering. We cannot always prevent the first arrow, those events that happen beyond our will. But we can stop the second arrow, those destructive thoughts and feelings that we create ourselves. Realizing this, we can learn to let go, to not dwell on the past, and to live in the here and now, at peace with ourselves and others. Just as the sun continues to shine even when clouds cover it, your true nature remains radiant if you don't let your thoughts obscure its light. Friends, I want each of you to remember this simple but profound truth. When you face pain, remember, the second arrow is in your hands. Free your mind from unnecessary suffering and allow yourself to live in peace and harmony. This knowledge is the key to your inner peace. The first arrow is the inevitable blows of fate, but the second is our own reactions and experiences. By becoming aware, we can avoid this second arrow, free ourselves from unnecessary suffering, and find inner peace. If this story touched you and you found something useful for you, please share this video with your friends. Maybe it can help them find their own path to wisdom. If you enjoyed this lesson, please like and subscribe to the channel. It will not only support the channel, but also help us create more inspirational content for you.